why don't you just go up to more options for just a second and click on my customer log. So now I owe you $239.
Right.
Okay. And it's for multiple pieces of time. It adds right below where it says you owe $239. It also says, hey, I've got 2 elements of time that are assigned to this guy. I've got, you know, what needs to be invoiced. Like there's different ways that you can kind of categorize things to kind of help you track all of your different pieces if that's what you're really trying to do. But,
yeah.
If you click on that, it literally will just pull up, hey, which one are you looking for? Oh, it was the custom vest. Perfect. And then you click on either edit or printable, and boom, you're right back into that game again, right there where you were. So you're able to jump and bounce very easily. So now if you scroll down a little further, you now have multiple ones. So as I pay you, you could then distribute it to what you wanted to have happen. Okay. Okay. Can I show you how to distribute it even easier?
I was going to say, can't you just pick an amount and they?
Okay, start at the top, Shannon.
That's a good place to
Okay,
start.
so the total is $239.30. Am I paying the whole thing or only a portion of it?
No, you're paying $150.
Okay, so $150. Click that next little box, and what we'll do is we'll help you do the math automatically. Okay, and then you just, that's not even required if you didn't want them. Okay, yeah. Initial payment. Thank you. Apply that payment. It rolls it out. It satisfied all those invoices, and so now you're technically good to go. At this point, you're like, okay, now where do I want to jump? Okay, whether it's the receivables homepage, whether it's to the main homepage, whatever. Oh, looks like I still owe $65. No, I owe $89 total. But I only have one invoice that's outstanding because we fully satisfied the other guy.
Right.
If you click on payment history, it'll actually show you everything that was actually done. So it's 2 different invoices, one fully satisfied and the other one partially satisfied, both from check 654. Those are technically ready to be deposited. Okay, so that's how the whole process works. You literally just take one step, and then it advances the ball, and then it's available for the next thing. And then you take the next step, and it advances the ball. Let's go add another time template, Shannon.
Okay.
I'm going to show you a different way to do some billing. Also, Santiago did have a question on billing for time for delivery and like all this kind of stuff, like putting in extra sub dates and times. But I think that as we do this and as we do more and more in elements of time, you'll kind of see how that rolls into play. So what I'd like to do currently, you have one time template, which is called your custom sewing jobs or your projects, okay? What let's do is let's actually say, why don't you do some class time, okay? So let's actually create a brand new one. You can call this sewing classes or seamstress class or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, sewing class is great.
Okay, so this one you do want start date, start time, end date, end time. These are smaller increments, okay?
Definitely.
You're not going to have multis per se. This is just what's going on. You potentially, now you have to figure out, are we going to be billing these independently? Am I just setting it up as the holder for this class? And then am I going to tie people to it? Like, how do you want, what's the scenario? And then we'll build it. Because right now, we kind of jumped the gun. We just started coming in here and started clicking.
Right.
We need a plan. We need a plan.
Right. Let's say that I offer sewing classes, but I only have 5 other machines. So it's limited to 5. And then I can set up various sewing classes for various different projects. But I do tie it to specific people, and it's limited to 5.
Okay.
So then I need to track that.
Great. So what we're going to probably do is mix elements of time and flex grid. Okay. So because if you look, one of the settings, let's actually right below the first little, right below there, it says use a single user assignment. That's who is the teacher basically. Okay. The single customer assignment, we're not going to actually go there right now because we need multiple people to be assigned to this. Okay. So this one's going to have a start date, start time, no problem. And then as far as, we probably want to put a budget on this one just so we know how many seats we have. So let's find budget.
Use budget settings?
Yes. Want some budget. And color, let's go ahead and pick a different one. We use green on our projects. Purple is going to be our classes. And then let's come on down. And I would, no, we don't need that. We don't need any sub dates and times. We probably don't need any sub comments. Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to be using flex grid and elements of time. Okay, so come on down and say add template. Perfect. So let's pretend. Let's actually go back to elements of time homepage for a second, and let's figure out when we want to do our new class. Why don't you take a look at scroll
At our
down?
calendar.
Yep.
Let's do it next Tuesday night, October 1st.
Perfect. So what I would probably do is you can either click October 1 or the time. Either way you can add them. This way here, it shows you the time increments, which basically, in my mind, saves you a step so you don't have to enter the time.
Right.
When are you going to run this class?
We're going to do it from 5 to 7:30.
Perfect. 5. Because you have multiple, it's kind of like, okay, what are we doing here now? Like it doesn't know to just jump in.
Glasses, and this one is going to be making pajama pants. It's a good beginner class.
That is a good one.
Okay, so yes, we know when we're ending, and we're ending at 7:30 p.m. And
Okay, so basically this
seats.
basically seats, okay? You have to kind of bake it a little bit.
No, that's fine. Okay, and our budget is type.
Why don't you say NA other and say seats.
Okay. Okay, there we go.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. So now at this point, go back to your calendar for a minute.
Oh, next one.
Okay, perfect. So there's that. And if you click on your time element, it actually tells you all your stuff. There's that, no problem. Hit back one time. I just want to show you one other possible link from that. Go ahead and click on the time slot view for that day. Perfect. It's going to roll you, it's going to block out that portion of time for your class. Okay, here's how you could technically start saying who wanted to do this. Say Brandon wanted to join this class, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So what you could do is you could technically go say, well, first off, let's go find the class, see who I have assigned to it. Like, is there anybody there?
Right.
So just click on number 3. Now, we don't have anybody, but this is how you kind of do it. Who do I have? Okay, I don't have anybody yet, okay? Brandon wants to do it, no problem. So what I could do is I could even just go invoice Brandon for that particular class. So why don't you just say customer, and then put Brandon, and say new cart, okay? And say add item, and just for now we're going to put it under other if they have that particular one.
Sounds good.
And how much are you going to charge me for this?
$75.
Okay, great. And ideally, you could even set up your own items so that it would actually say, sewing classes.
Yeah.
Okay. Say add it to the cart. Cool. And let's say that I paid. We're good to go. Check out, and I'll pay cash for that. Was it under taxable?
Yeah.
Okay, just hit update cart.
Okay.
And that's a setting that you can do once again.
Right.
And then, good catch. I didn't even see that. Go ahead and say checkout, and I'll actually pay cash for this. Okay, cool. So watch this. Here's what I would do right now, okay? So you see that magic invoice number, number 8?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would either select it if it gets long, or if I can remember it, I'm good to go, okay? So now I will jump back to my Elements of Time homepage. I've now billed Brandon.
Am I putting it right to that time?
If you know that, yeah, if you knew, you could even type in this, pajama, time pajama, and it would do a search. Oh yeah, perfect. That's, go right to edit, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Add a new flex grid tie-in. Okay, so this was invoice number, sub invoice.
Oh, right there. It's at the very top. 8.
8, correct. So just scroll down. Literally, if you wanted to in the notes, like right here, we don't have it, but you could even say paid. Like, and we could just go change that title. So it's,
Okay.
what's going on? Say, add the tie-in. Brandon Moore, he's paid 8. It's tied right to his invoice, okay? So basically what I'm doing is I'm virtually creating my own little schedule, and so anytime I wanted to check my pajama pants, I could go like this, quick search, time, pajama, or go to the calendar, however I wanted to do it, and then I could virtually look at the, boom, Just edit or printable doesn't make a bit of
Right.
difference, okay?
And who I have in there.
Who do I have?
That's
How many
great.
total seats do I have? So let's add a brand new person. So somebody else decides that they want to come in and do the same thing. Let's see if we can tie it to them, okay? So you have a new customer. Okay, we don't have Sally yet, so we'll add her in.
Should have, that's what it is.
So sometimes this might take just a little bit more work than paper and pencil, but at what point do you break that tool? Okay?
Yep, it's true.
And so what you're doing here is you're basically saying, I'm getting customer information, which then allows me to get measurements if I need to, which then allows me to log things, which then allows me to bill, which then allows me to track receivables. Like, there's
Yeah.
huge benefits of doing this. And so, boom,
Definitely.
she exists. There's a link at the top right.
I was thinking
Yep,
for
new cart.
That's what I wanted. Okay.
Perfect. So once again, you'd add another item, one at $75, other. And here's where it would be really handy to actually have a physical class fee set up so that it automatically knew to say, hey, class fee $75, and then you just add a little piece of pajama type thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And so like right here, we'll have the tax categories kind of mixed up.
It would be
You'd want to set that, okay? You wouldn't even have to make those. So
And this
cool.
is invoice 9, I'm sure.
Well, we
have
don't
to
know
make
yet.
it.
We have no clue because time may have gone underneath the
Going
bridge.
to pay the check.
Okay. Yeah, don't assume what number it's going to be until it physically hits the database.
Actually, I wasn't. Yeah, I was trying not to assume. I was trying to look for it actually,
Sure,
but then
sure.
I realized, oh, I haven't created it.
Correct.
So
Boom. So now you will find a number, and it is number 9. Okay. So check this out. Go up to the top of the page. I would go up to the quick search,
yeah, I would too.
and you're going to now add number 9 to that particular one. Say add a new FlexGrid tie-in. Scroll to sub-invoice, number 9. Scroll down to the bottom, paid, or whatever. Or I mean, that's just a different way. Currently, it's under other one. You probably want to fix that.
Right, we can
So-
go do that. That's
Why
fine.
don't you go to FlexGrid homepage? So we're going to go to Elements of Time, and just paid status or something like that. You could make it a drop down, or you could just, whatever you wanted. If you wanted to pay partial or whatever. Like basically, this is how you would modify your FlexGrid fields. Okay, hang on. Scroll down. We need to go at
Sub.
another sub.
Thank you.
There you go.
Sorry.
Needs to pay or whatever, not pay. Perfect. Okay. Now you basically have a little drop down that can happen, and then it helps you. So less typing. You prep it on the front end, and it makes it for less and less typing on the back end. Okay. So check this out. Let's have you go up to the quick search again and go time, pajama, or unless you knew the exact number, but like I would just go
That'd be
time,
a good way to do it.
pajama, hit on edit, printable, whatever. Okay, what do we got? Now it's called paid status instead of other one.
Mhm.
So that's virtually what happens right there. But you're basically building, you know who your class is, who's paid, who hasn't, if you need it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's do one more, and let's put in Cheryl Moore, okay, just for fun. And let's say she hasn't paid, but I'm going to show you how quick it is once you tie these things together, how you can either go to the class and find who hasn't paid, or go to Cheryl and find who hasn't paid. Once you put the data in, it's very searchable. You could put phone number, email, all that other kind of stuff. It's not important, but basically,
Right.
the more you put in, the more you eventually have at your disposal. But cool.
Definitely.
So she exists now. Let's just go ahead and click that little link. Let's build her out too.
Oops. Okay.
Boom. And once you find something that you repeat over and over again, pretty soon you're going to be like, you know what? I need my own little item for that. Like,
Yeah.
it creates its own little pane, and then that's what actually ends up doing it. You had everything else under part number other. Don't know if you wanted to flip it or it doesn't matter. But you're going to have to now
definitely.
flip the tax category because its setting was on taxable.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. So she's here. Let's have her check out, but she didn't pay. She's like, I totally want to do that. Yes, yes, yes. Put me on. Okay. Create the invoice. Click. Cool. We now have number 10 for her. Okay. So now what we want to do is if time, home, whatever we wanted to do, like it doesn't matter. PJs, yeah, perfect. Edit. Who do I got? I need to add Cheryl to my class list here. Okay. Add a new Fletcher Battalion. She's sub invoice number 10. Scroll down. She's unpaid currently. Okay. Click. So all of a sudden you perfectly know who's there, who hasn't paid, who's done what. If she ends up coming to pay, it's a piece of cake. You could land on this and jump to 10, or you could then you just hit edit line items and plunk in a payment if you wanted to. Or there's tons of different ways, but basically it doesn't automatically update that. So if she does come in and pay for it, it won't automatically roll that forward. But when you go to look at your class roster and it says unpaid, you could click on that and be like, oh yes, she did. A quick little edit and you flip that to paid. It isn't it doesn't know that it's supposed to be connected to that high level, okay? But that would be a manual piece, but then you could you're tracking your data as far as what's happening here and what's going on and who's playing. So that's just another small way of using elements of time. But you're starting to build your actual, when you finally get done, if you wanted to do an edit main, you can turn that, hey, my actual ended up being 3 seats. If you wanted to, it's not required, but basically it's just a way of what was my final capacity.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that way you don't even have to look at a sub.
Mm-hmm.
So later on, if you were doing a search, hey, of all these classes, I want to see my budget settings for the classes. Oh, I had 10 seats and 12 were filled. Oh my goodness, we went over. Or whatever. If you can start looking at those settings because they exist in the system.
Yeah.
Depending on what you want to feed to the system, it'll play back accordingly.
Right.
Awesome.